Network Entertainment.
Hi, this is Pia Ontiveros. The name Vico Soto has been top of mind lately, and we know why. Flood control, Diskaya, Pasig City, etc., etc. And so we need to talk about this. Decode it, unbox, unpack, take things apart, if you will. So let's talk. And welcome to the one we're going to talk to and about, Mayor Vico Soto of Pasig City. Mayor Vico, thank you very much for being here with us.
Hi, Miss Pia. Thank you for inviting me on your show.
Okay, so I want to start with this. Let's go all the way back to 2018. Ay, 2018 ba? Tinitingnan mo pa yung notes ko. Huwag kang mag-alala. Wala
2018. Hindi ko naman nababasa. 2018 was when
was
I
the first
filed
interview.
my certificate
Yeah.
of candidacy.
For
So
the 2019
it was around
elections.
that time that you first interviewed me.
Yes, oo. And then I remembered na, and then I just wanted to share this with the podcast listeners and or viewers. So that was the first time I interviewed you. And then I remember I told you something, kinwentuhan kita. Sabi ko, I don't know if you remember this, when you were a toddler, siguro mga 2 or 3,
Right.
1.5, 2 years old, ganon. Your dad brought you to the old newsroom ng ABS-CBN. Tapos, napadaan lang siya ha. Tapos, ang dami namin sa labas. So, nagkagulo. Hindi dahil kay Vic Soto, pero dahil sa baby na hawak niya. Ikaw yon, no? And then, we surrounded your dad, and then he was carrying you like that, and then we were all, going goo gaga over you. As a baby, not now, no? And then, basta ang tagal nun siguro mga 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I remember telling you that back in 2018. And then I don't remember na what you said. Siyempre, you don't remember that, no? Wala kang memory na
Well,
ganon.
kung
Baka
I
na-trauma
was
ka.
2-3 years old.
Or probably
Early
less.
90s. Early
Probably
90s.
less.
I was born
Yeah.
in 1989. So,
Yeah. I think that was 1990.
okay.
1990 or 1991.
Well, obviously, I don't remember that incident.
Yeah. Incident.
Incident
Parang ang
talaga.
sama Incident, ganon.
Hindi naman ako na-trauma doon.
Hindi ka na trauma. Okay. But I guess, I'm sure your parents would always tell you na pinagkakaguluhan ka sa baby, mga ganon. Meron ba? Meron bang ganon? Or no?
Wala naman silang nakwento sa
Wala
akin.
silang nakikwento.
Wala naman.
Or baka sanay lang sila.
Hindi ko rin alam.
Hindi mo rin.
But,
Okay.
When I was a kid, bira naman ako sinasama talaga nila mama and papa. From time to time.
Yeah. Oo.
Again, I don't remember much. But
Yeah.
especially when I was already a toddler up,
Oo.
hindi na nila masyado. Ayoko rin.
Okay. But growing up, what was your earliest memory?
Ang hirap naman na ano.
Kala mo, Diskaya yung pag-uusapan, yung pala, earliest memory.
Earliest, parang hirap naman sagutin nun.
Ikaw naman.
Nabigla ako sa tanong na yun. Ko alam, sa bahay? School?
Sa bahay,
I don't know.
school. Okay. Anyway, but you went to Brent, right? Grade school, high school.
Elementary until high school,
Yeah.
yes.
So, can you tell us what your childhood was like?
Okay naman. Tahimik lang naman ako, lalo na
Yeah.
nung bata ako. I was very quiet kid.
Okay. Parang mabait.
Siguro mabait naman. Sabi ng nanay ko, mabait daw ako.
Talaga, okay. Parang hindi ka sanay na sumasagot ng mga ganito, parang beauty pageant questions.
Oo nga.
But anyway, okay. So then, of course, you went to Ateneo for college.
Right.
Yung political science, your course, why was that the course that you chose?
Well, since I was maybe 10, 11 years old, I've always wanted to work for government. And then when I was...
Where did that come from?
I don't know. Maybe one of my biggest influences was my kuya, L.A., who would teach me about... He was a development studies major in Ateneo also. So he would teach me about the Constitution, about government.
Wow.
We would play games, make maps. He would... tell me, pretend you're the mayor. 10, 11 years old. So,
Okay.
so parang doon, naging interesado ako. Tapos yung mga games na nilalaro ko kahit sa computer, mas gusto ko yung mga SimCity, mga ganyan.
What game is that?
SimCity?
SimCity. Okay.
Hindi ko alam paano siya i-explain. Basta alam na nila yun.
Okay. Alam ng generation mo yon. Okay. But was it also in the gene siguro, di ba? Because your, what is it, grand uncle? Or your grandfather? What is
My-
it? Great-granduncle?
Great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather.
Well, I never met him.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can say that it's in the genes as well. I don't know how that works. But really, growing up, I've always been interested in government. So going back to your question, why political science? In retrospect, maybe I should have taken a different course. I don't know. Sorry sa mga political science. Mamagalit pala yung mga rewind.
Babawiin nila yung grade
Hindi,
mo.
maganda pala yung political science.
Maganda, okay.
No, I'm not saying I regret it.
Yeah.
It's just that if I'm being completely honest, maybe when I was graduating high school, probably didn't really understand fully what political science really was all about. I don't regret it. Nagbibiro lang ako.
Yeah.
But naisip ko lang nun, remember, 16, 17, 18 years old.
Yes.
Isip ko lang, gusto ko gobyerno. Ano bang mga course? Tinignan mo yung listahan. Tanong-tanong ka.
Political science sounds like
Sige,
government.
pwede to. Parang ganun.
Okay. Pero hindi ka naman nag-shift kasi uso naman yan in Ateneo College, mga shift.
Pag mag-shift ka, baka ma-delay ka pa. So,
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, what's this? That was in college. You took political science. You were interested in government as a little kid. And then, you took masters in public management. Public
Right,
management, di ba? So by that time, talagang ang pinupuntirya mo na noon was a political career.
actually, I took
elective
up
office.
my master's in public management. I was a counselor already at that time. So, I felt like as counselor, I had a little bit of time, especially during the weekends. And then I wanted to further my studies.
Yeah.
Maganda naman yung sa Ateneo School of Government. Marami rin naman ako natutunan doon.
Maganda naman. Maganda talaga. Makabawiin na naman yung grade mo, di ba? Okay. So, you're now in your third term as mayor of Pasig City. Not that nobody knows. Of course, everybody knows. Which means you step down in 2028.
Right.
That's just 2.5 years from now, no? Outside of politics, do you have plans already? Or,
Yes.
I mean, it's hard to speculate kasi, di ba, kung ano mangyari sa 2020.
I've never been at least in my personal life, I've never been a super long-term planner. Kasi paniniwala kong daming pwedeng mangyari. Diba?
Yeah.
Pero 2028, ang plano ko, balikan yung mga hindi ko nagawa dahil tumakbo akong mayor.
Okay. And what are those things?
I'd like to teach if I have an opportunity. That's
okay.
one thing. Study, do other things, advocacy work. Yung mga hindi ko magawa kasi pag mayor ka,
Yeah.
unang-una, sa local government code, bawal ka magkaroon ng ibang trabaho.
Yeah.
It specifically says in the local government code that a mayor cannot have any other occupation.
Right.
So, of course, dapat sumunod tayo dun. So, very limited kung anong pwede
Yeah.
kong gawin.
Yeah. Okay.
So, excited ako.
So teach what? What would you be teaching?
Well, 9 years of experience, plus 3 years as counselor. So 12 years of experience as a government official, plus other experience engaging the government with other hats on. I feel like I have a lot of experience to share to younger students. So hindi naman ko wala pa naman akong naisip ko anong specific course. Actually, when I was a counselor, planning to hindi naman to retire. Ikaw naman tamang word. In 2016, I became counselor. So 2019, wala naman talaga akong plano tumakbo. So 2018, I already applied to a couple of universities. Arellano, Pasig accepted me as a part-time lecturer. So I already started, nag-one sem na ako magturo. Yun nga, tumakbo ako for mayor. So I just finished the sem and then hindi na ako bawal na kasi.
Okay.
So, yun, 2028, hopefully, may tumanggap sa akin na university.
I'm sure marami yan. Okay. Like you said, you don't really plan too far ahead. However, yun nga, no, may 2028 and if there is going to be something in your political future for 2028 until 2031, di ba? Kasi pwedeng either tatakbo ka, elective, or appointive. Parang ma-appoint ka, di ba? Merong mga ganong mga speculations or merong mga ganong usapan, hindi ba?
Hindi naman
Hindi
natin
rin.
alam kung ano mangyayari. Basta
Yeah.
nagsabi na ako na 2028, di ako tatakbo.
Yes.
We'll do other things now. Whatever opportunities will present themselves,
Yeah. Okay.
we'll weigh the options.
Yeah, when we get so parang most possibly appointive yan because like you said you're not running you're not running and you're not the type na mayor ka ngayon. Sige, takbo muna akong vice mayor parang
Definitely,
hindi
parang
ganon, no.
malabo naman yun.
Oo. Then you're not going to be running for Congress either. You know the way local politicians in a district or in a city, make arrangements among themselves na o sige, congressman muna ako, mag-mayor ka muna. O next term, palitan lang tayo.
But I've always wanted to do things differently. Yung katwiran ko naman kasi, kung tatakbo ko mayor, magiging mayor ako, tapos gagawin ko lang lahat ng ginawa ng mga nauna sa akin. Gagayahin ko lang din yung style. Paano mangampanya, paano magpatakbo ng gobyerno, paano gagawin sa politika. Kung ganun lang din yung gagawin ko, edi sana hindi na ako tumakbo. Kasi ganun na naman eh.
Yeah.
But you know what, yung nasa puso ko is to try to do things in a different way. It may work, I may fail, but it's okay. At least I tried to do things in the way that I think is best. So hindi ko naman sinasabi na I have the monopoly of knowledge or ano kasi nagkakamali din naman ako lagi. Diba? I make mistakes very often. But I want to do things in a different way. Challenge traditional politics, challenge the framework of patronage politics, especially at the local government level, challenge corruption, and then the old practices, kalakaran.
Yeah.
So, so far it's been working out. You never know until when it will work out. But ganun pa rin, 2028 and beyond, yun pa rin. And when I say this, I think maybe some people are skeptical, and I understand because as a nation, we've been very, minsan disillusioned, di ba? We're jaded. Pero yung sinasabi ko kasi, lalo na kung yung personal career ko yung pinag-uusapan, hindi lang naman politika kasi. Di ba? Ayaw rin naman, yung mga supporters ko, ayaw rin naman siguro nila na makain ako ng sistema. So,
Yes, of course.
huwag nila ako i-push na gawin ko ano yung traditional.
Yeah.
Di ba? Kung, yun lang naman yun sa akin.
Okay. You've talked about succession planning before. I know this sounds very traditional. Parang may pagkatrapa. Parang who is being groomed to run for mayor? Is that something na pinag-uusapan ngayon? Or something?
Right now, no.
Because if not, then it could go to someone else and then lahat ng ipinundar mo, lahat ng trinabaho mo the last 9 years, baka...
Sa giting ng Pasig, yung grupo namin nung 2025, nitong 2025 elections, hindi pa namin napag-usapan kahit isang beses yung 2028 na sino tatakbo, mayor, congressman, vice mayor, new councilors, wala pa kaming ganun. Pero yung kasama sa mission namin, and this is what, before we finalize the team for 2025, we made sure that we are all on the same page, that this is the kind of governance that we want. And this is the kind of politics that we want to get used to as a city. Na ayaw na natin yung gumagastos ng malaki pag-campaign kasi alam natin na part yan ng cycle ng corruption. Ayaw na natin ng XYZ, etc. Without going to go into specific details. Pero ganito yung gusto natin. Kailangan sanayin na natin ang sarili natin at ang tao na ganito ang politika because we think this is what's for the better. So, kasama doon na we're hoping that, people will be, kumbaga, alam na ng tao din kung ano nga hanapin sa mga politiko. Na
What they can demand
i-endorse ko
of
pa o
politicians.
hindi. Pag nakita nila na, ay hindi, this person embodies good governance versus this. Wala naman perfect candidate, di ba? Wala naman, hindi ko man pwede sabihin na, ito, perfecto, ako, ganito. Hindi. It's not about that. It's about trying to go towards the right direction. So hopefully, in 2028, in Pasig, the people are now more aware. The people are now more used to
Good governance.
and going away from traditional politics. Yun siguro yung importante para sa amin. So pag 2028 nakita nila may kandidato na gumagastos na naman ng bilyon, alam na nila na hindi dapat iboto yun. Pag nakita nila na yung kandidato gano'n na naman yung ginagawa, parang yung mga traditional politician, alam na nila na hindi iboboto yun. So I think that's the most important for us in terms of elections at the local level.
Well, of course, 3 years before you were born, that there was the EDSA revolution, and everybody had high hopes for that, di ba? Tapos wala rin. So para bang what you're talking about now, yun yung dapat ginawa, and not just on the local level, but on the larger scale, di ba? Nationwide, di ba?
Hopefully we don't
But
feel
revolutions are like that anyway. So yeah.
Sana hindi naman natin isipin na parang wala rin nangyari. Siguro nakaka-frustrate kasi parang pakiramdam na, at siguro tama naman na isipin natin na parang sana napabilis, di ba? Yung progreso, yung pag-unlad, yung mga kasabayan natin, even Southeast Asia. Ba't ganun? Ba't sila parang naging exponential ang growth, tayo ganun? Parang pero kahit na ganun, wag naman sana natin isipin na wala. I think it's still I always put it this way. Kung ipasok ka sa time machine tapos naka-randomize yung timeline kung saan ka mapupunta. Anong ipagdadasal mo? Na mapunta ka sa 1898? 1945?
Or
1986? Or 2025? And I think most people would say 2025. And I think that's proof that we're headed towards the right direction. And hopefully, we can do our part. All of us can do our part, whether in the media, government, whatever our roles may be. Pabilisin naman natin ng konti yung progreso. But again, I think then that's the only real reason that I remain optimistic. Kasi sa politika, lahat makikita mo rin, di ba? Lahat ng, whether you're a part of it or not, whether you do it or not, you hear everything, di ba? Kahit naman siguro kayo, di ba? Nakikita, nararamdaman niyo rin yan.
We can see it and hear it.
Pero pag tinatanong ako, ba't nananatili akong optimistic? That's my reason. Because I see that we're progressing. Maybe too slowly, maybe we can do better. Pero hindi tayo hopeless.
Sana mas mabilis pa ng konti. But anyway, well, from there, from hope, let's talk about the Discayas. Sarah and
Ang ganda ng transition mo.
Yun na yung transition.
Okay, segue natin.
Well, I guess syempre, so tiga-Pasig sila. You knew of them when? I mean, I'm sure long before she ran for mayor. From the start. So meaning 2019, nababalitaan mo na sila.
2016.
2016 as councilor. At that time, kasi 'di ba parang tama ba 'yon? Kaya daw siya tumakbo mayor kasi she wasn't happy with with City Hall or something. Ano ba yung kwento? Pero ano yung kwento? Ano yung because honestly, for everybody else outside of Pasig, I used to live there a long time ago, no? Siyempre, we had not heard of them, of the Discayas. Ano yung kwento nila?
Saan ko sisimulan? Yung kwento naman nila, yung life story, hindi naman para ako yung magkwento nun. Pwede nyo naman panoorin nasa YouTube.
Oo nga, pinost mo kaya nalaman namin.
Pero 2016 pa lang, naririnig ko na yung pangalan nila. A lot of rumors, and to be blunt, a lot of the rumors were not true. May mga rumors na fraud sila ng ganyan. Parang hindi naman yata. We're talking about Pasig. We're not talking about anything in the national level. Again, this is 2016. 2015, 2016. Yan. Maraming ganun. Pero ang sigurado lang ako, contractor sila. And then, we moved several years forward. Ito na. May mga nakikita na kaming red flags. Pero hindi ko alam yung extent
Yeah. When you say red flags, what do you mean? They had dealings with
May
local
lumab-
government? Ganon.
During the Aquino administration, nagkaroon na sila ng blacklisting eh. Tapos may mga nakita na difficult to prove, di ba? Parang may maririnig ka na ganyan, nangungontrata sa City Hall, etc. Pero wala pa naman major. Nung naging mayor na ako, yun na, syempre, pag mayor ka, mas marami ka rin makikita. Yun na, nakikita na yung totoong big red flags na. Tapos nababalitaan na, hindi lang pala yun yung kumpanya. Hindi lang pala isa itong yung sikat nilang kumpanya, yun yung laging naka-bandera eh. Yun yung marami pala ito. In fact, in 2019, one of the big reforms that we fought for was procurement reform because we know that's where the bulk of the corruption in government is. So nilinis talaga namin yun. We made it real, honest to goodness public bidding. So sa totoo, sila nananalo kahit 2019 pa lang kung ano na sinasabi niyan tungkol sa akin eh. Pero okay lang naman. Hindi naman ako na may personal sa ganyan. But I'm only mentioning it now to say that kahit na quote-unquote kalaban sila noon pa man, nananalo sila ng kontrata sa city government. Yun nga lang.
At totoo yung mga projects na yan. They delivered.
Meron naman. Oh.
Meron.
Some of them, they had liquidated damages. Some... Well, I can go back one by one. But right now, they have, I think, 4 contracts with the LGU that are pending. Of course, we have had to cancel them because their pickup licenses have been canceled. Right? So, they have 4. Yung isa, parang nasa 1 year in delay na sila. Ano nang nangyayari kasi talaga, at least the way it looks like right now, yung practice of hiram resibo, hiram lisensya. Pinapahiram lang yung papeles
Okay.
for a royalty. So iba-iba yan. Meron sila talaga yung nag-handle. Siguro, hindi ko alam. Sila lang naman makakapagsabi talaga. Baka yun yung mga sa flood control. Pero meron sila, lalo na yung maliliit siguro, hinihiram lang talaga yung, which is illegal. That's definitely that's illegal. So tama lang naman na ma-revoke yung mga lisensya nila. Pero marami. Sa totoo lang, hindi ko alam kung saan magsisimula.
Okay.
Nakasawa na rin na sila lagi yung pinag-uusapan, di ba? But still, I think it's important to
Ikaw
talk
kasi,
about.
kaya nga pinag-usapan, ikaw kasi.
But it's important to talk about.
You brought it to light.
Because if we don't talk about these things, when will it ever stop? When will it ever stop?
Hello everyone! Ako po si Baus Rufo, ang host ng podcast na Kaya Pa Ba? Ang pinakabagong talk show kung saan tinatanong namin kung kaya pa nga ba talaga. No, it's an interview show featuring my favorite content creators, celebrities, or just my favorite taga-benta ng turon. Who knows? Go listen to it now on Apple Podcast and Spotify.
Wait, so she ran for mayor,
2025?
yeah, to what? Para i-challenge ka?
Hindi
yan?
ko alam.
To get City Hall back? I mean, all those rumors about, kamag-anak ni Eusebio, blah, blah, blah.
Kamag-anak naman talaga sila. How close they are or what, hindi ko na, that's not for me to say.
Yeah.
Pero yung sa akin naman kasi, it's not personal.
Yeah.
Billion yung utang nyo sa city.
Bilyon.
Mali-mali pa yung pinapatayo niyo. Ibig sabihin, illegal pa yung structures na pinapatayo ninyo. So, ang dami namin
yung mga
problema
buildings
sa kanila.
a few days ago, no? You went on an inspection, yun ba yun? Yung walang permit, blah, blah, blah.
Years ago na po yata yun.
Years ago ba yun?
Baka lumabas lang sa feed nyo.
Okay.
Baka, or at least a year ago.
Okay.
But that was before we knew that they were entering politics. Again, I think what's important to realize here is it's nothing personal.
Yes.
It was not personal. And it was definitely not about pinupolitika sila o ganun. Kasi malay ko bang tatakbo sila.
Yeah.
Di ba? Kahit naman sila, nung unang parang nagiging parang nagkakaroon na ng signs na tatakbo sila, sila naman nagsasabi na hindi kami tatakbo. Wala
Yeah.
kaming interest sa politika. Huwag nyo kami damay sa politika. Ganun lagi yung
Oo.
linyahan
Yeah.
nila nakita na rin natin later on. But again, yung primary concern ko rito, yung damage sa city. Is we need to demand for accountability, and we need to demand that you pay for your business taxes, pay for your national taxes, follow the law. Sa totoo, dun lang naman kami nagsimula. And I guess they took it personally, and they took it as a challenge.
Yeah. How much do
maybe
they
to
owe
their
exactly?
ill-gotten wealth.
Some billion, but is there an amount?
We haven't actually finished looking at all of their
okay.
because the paperwork, the documents, the amount,
Voluminous, I
grabe
suppose.
talaga.
Okay.
Voluminous is the right word. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
I think in the first 4 companies that we looked at, they already owe the LGU alone around 1 billion pesos.
Wow. Okay.
We haven't looked at the other companies yet. We don't know how much they owe the BIR. We just saw some red flags in their filings. Kaya ko lang napansin. Imagine, St. Timothy, may isang taon nag-declare sila ng 0 gross revenue sa LGU. 0. Hindi man lang, garapal talaga. Kaya kailangan
Okay.
kailangan managot hindi pwedeng magkalimutan lang.
Oo. Okay. So, for the bigger public, syempre, parang for us, no, watching from outside, parang this all started with the floods, di ba? Bago magsona si BBM. And then nagsona siya. And then in the end, maya naman kayo, di ba? A week later, he comes up with a list of the top 10, 15 contractors. And then you jump in and say, hey, ito yung sa Diskaya. Di ba? And then you had that the video, etc. Parang dun nag-umpisa. So parang sabi nga, parang bingo, parang ganon. What did you think then when it was like a series of events? It's like a deck of cards. It's like a parang domino.
I'm just happy that all of it is being exposed now. It's been going on for far too long. All of this sindikato na nga. It's really deeply rooted in everything. All of the government.
Yeah.
Minsan, sa todo, minsan mabubuisit ka na lang. Minsan mafrustrate ka na lang.
Frustrated and overwhelmed.
Pero
Frustration.
wala, kailangan. Tuloy-tuloy lang tayo.
Yeah.
Kami naman, just like I said earlier, we started with the Diskayas because that's what we know. And that's what we saw. We saw the problems. And we're not talking about flood control only here.
Right.
Dun kami nagsimula.
Yeah.
And that's also where I can speak. That's where I can contribute in terms of investigations. And because we have documents to back up what we're saying. We have evidence, kumbaga. Malinaw na malinaw ito sa amin. So, dun kami. Pero from our initial business taxes, yung tawag dito, sa building permits, kung dun kami nagsimula, ngayon, may magandang pagkakataon, not for us specifically, but for our country, because it's the president himself
Right.
who is already looking at this,
Right.
I don't know what you want to call it. Ano ba tamang term para sa kanya? Scandal, scam, I don't know.
Baka masyadong maliit yung termino. Parang
Kaya nga
kasi
iniisip ko ano
sobrang
yung
malawak
tama Ano bang naririnig nyo? Ano ba yung term na ginagamit ngayon para i-describe lahat ng nangyayari?
It's indescribable.
Oo.
But you did come out with a post, no, showing the interviews of Sarah and Curly Diskaya with Corina and Julius, and that brought out this whole lengthy debate, long drawn out debate about ethics in journalism, etc. Syempre, nag-counter yung dalawa saying, among so many other things, na lifestyle naman yon, etc. Ganon. As a matter of fact, for a while, Corina was insisting that you owe her an apology. Do you think you owe them an apology? Do you need to explain anything with that? Or is that something that you felt you needed to do because you needed to shine the light on this whole thing?
I think I've said my piece. I've said everything I need to say on that. And I stand by what I said.
Okay. Nag-testify naman mga Diskaya, di ba, sa Senate, sa House, and then now there's all this talk about, should they be state witness, etc. Nagkakagulo sa Senate dahil yun ang pinag-aawayan. What are your thoughts on that?
Nung pinatawag ako sa House, nasabi ko naman din ito, ang hirap lang kasi magtiwala sa kilala mong sinungaling. Na ito yung track record nila. Na kahit nung nagtestigo na sila sa Senado at sa House, dun pa lang puro conflicting na yung mga sinasabi nila. Number of cars, hindi nila iba-iba yung sagot. I mean, simple things. Number of cars, hindi nila masagot. Iba-iba yung sagot. Kung magkano yung kita nila, iba-iba yung sagot. Pag tiningnan mo yung kwento ng tiningnan mo yung series of events or yung kung paano nila kinukwento, tapos talagang hihimayin mo yung mga sinasabi nila, malinaw na malinaw, nagsisinungaling sila. So the question is, why are some people now trying to portray them as heroes when they've stolen billions of pesos from us? Yun talaga yung nakapagtataka. Hindi ko alam kung sinong nasa likod nito, sinong kausap nila. I have no idea. Nakakapagtaka lang. Ano bang meron? Bakit sila yung gagawing, what is this all about? And again, nakita na natin, yung testimony na lang yung pagsagot na lang nila sa mga senador at sa mga congressman. Without, it's not because we're trying to defend someone or aligning ourselves. Wala nga akong grupo dito Diba? Magalit na lahat sa akin, okay lang naman. Magalit na lahat ng grupo, okay lang naman. Kahit ako lang mag-isa, wala nang problema. Pero ipaglaban natin kung anong katotohanan. At maghanap din tayo syempre ng ebidensya. Ngayon, may isang naintindihan ko rin naman. Naintindihan ko na marami pang guilty na siguro hindi pa lumilitaw yung pangalan nila. Wala pa kasi sigurong ebidensya. Hopefully magkaroon din. Hopefully may lumabas. But to trust the one of the most guilty, clearly they have ulterior motives. And their story is not aligning with the truth. And I think we have a big problem here.
So they shouldn't be state witnesses.
Kung magsabi muna sila ng katotohanan. Pero sa akin, hindi ko alam kung dahil talagang pinag-aaralan ko siya, pinapanood ko lahat pero sa akin, malinaw na ang daming kasinungalingan dun sa sinasabi nila. So how can they even think of applying for or how can anyone even consider them to be a state witness when they're not even telling the truth? And it's so blatant, it's so obvious that they're lying. And we could, kung panoorin natin yung either of their, whether in the House or in the Senate, if we watch it, we can pause it every 10 seconds and tell you, that's a lie, and this is how I know it's a lie.
Okay, let's do that in another episode.
Pwede.
Nako, ilang oras yan, mga...
Ang haba ang hirap din i-explain kasi halos kada sentence may kasinungalingan
Okay. The Anti-Money Laundering Council, AMLAC, has ordered the freezing of their accounts, DPWH contractors, engineers, and then some of the contractors, including them, and then may independent commission ngayon. Are these steps in the right direction? Will they lead somewhere? Are they going to help us get to the bottom of all of this? Or in the end, are we going to forget event? Alam mo, parang ganun kasi, di ba, nagsacycle dito sa Pilipinas. May malaking storya. Dito lahat, magkalimutan later or what? How do we ensure na, we see this to the end?
Tama po kayo. Yan naman ang fear ng marami na baka magkalimutan tayo. And that's why we have to be on guard, number one. And why we can't allow this, parang nililito tayo. Na ito may maglalabas ng gantong bombshell, tapos ito kokontrahin niya hanggang sa iba maniniwala dito, yung iba dito. Tapos wala naman lumabas na totoong ebidensya. Anong ending niyan? Di acquitted lahat.
Okay.
Kung may baka maliliit lang yung
Yeah, which is
talagang
what happens
mapakulong.
many times, hindi ba?
Exactly. So we can't allow that. But with that said, you mentioned the Anti-Money Laundering Council freezing accounts.
Yeah.
That's great news, and definitely a step in the right direction. It will increase our chances of recovering the ill-gotten wealth.
Okay, pero syempre
Eventually.
hindi naman
Pero
lahat.
syempre may mga court orders pa yan at
Oo,
lahat.
pero hindi din naman lahat ng pera nasa bangko, hindi ba?
Oo,
So talagang
balita ko nasa
Saan?
baka
Saan?
Hindi, wag na lang baka mailabas nila.
Hindi, sige, sabihin mo na ngayon. Saan?
Baka malaman nila na alam ko
Baka
baka bukas wala na yun doon. Baka tanggalin nila.
okay. Okay.
Pero nakakapangilabot sa totoo lang.
Alright. Nakakapangilabot. Yun yung isang word. Okay. This one parang just give it like 10-second answer. No, I'm not going to dwell on it. I just need to bring it up. No, because for some reason, and I don't know why, some bloggers, but social media, all of a sudden, meron ka raw katapat, parang gano'n, no? This young congressman from Cavite, his name is Kiko Barzaga, anak ni Elpidio P.D. Barzaga, whom I knew because I used to interview him all the time and cover him, no? So yun, may gano'n. Anong tingin mo sa gano'n? 10-minute answer then, 10-second answer then we move on.
I don't really know him.
Okay.
I think there's really no reason for comparing. But again, I understand that that's the normal thing for people, especially online, to do. Ganun talaga online eh.
Yeah.
Wala ka rin magagawa.
Online.
Sana hindi na,
Yeah.
pero ganun
Online.
talaga online. Lahat nangyayari. Diba?
There was
Lahat
that video, di ba? Sarah Diskaya in the Senate, supposedly, pero hindi pala totoo. No?
Yes,
ang daming ganon, no?
I
AI.
saw that video,
Yeah.
and a few days ago I checked that video, or I saw that video a few days ago, and it had 25 million views. And I did a quick scan through the comments. A lot were trolls, but there were also some who genuinely believed that was a real video. So medyo nakaka-alarma yun.
Nakaka-alarma din ba yung mga AI na pictures of all these young women who have these huge crushes on you, and they're claiming na they're your girlfriend or that they'll be first lady soon, and etc.
Yes, nakaka-alarma din.
Nakaka-alarma. Okay.
Pero
Ang seryoso mo naman.
hindi kasi seryosong bagay to eh. Maybe a specific post can be funny or amusing, entertaining, but we have
But
to
if it's
look
fake,
also at where we're headed.
Yeah.
And it's not just, of course, it's not just in the Philippines, but worldwide, this is the trend. And, fake videos and fake pictures are getting more and more realistic. Ngayon
And
pa lang,
harder even to detect.
ngayon pa lang ang hirap na i-detect.
Yeah.
Tapos, pag mga reporting mechanism pa ng Facebook, ng Meta, talagang wala eh. Ang sobrang tagal talaga. Wala talaga.
Yeah. Oo.
So, kailangan talaga mag-ramp up din tayo ng digital literacy, media literacy.
Yeah.
Ang hirap eh. Sa basic literacy pa lang, medyo hirap na tayo, di ba?
Yeah.
Tapos magdadagdag pa tayo ng ganito. Pero
Yeah.
medyo nakaka-alarma. Pero siguro ang silver lining o ang maganda na lang dito sa mga fake video, mga fake pictures na yan, medyo nasasanay na tayo. Na kumbaga pag may nakita tayo sa Facebook,
Yeah.
sa anong social media platform, dapat ang una natin maiisip, totoo ba talaga yan? I think we're heading into an era where that should be the first question we ask when we see anything.
Anything.
Whether it's
anything.
funny, political, serious,
Or somebody just likes you.
We have to,
Yeah.
we have to,
Yeah.
totoo ba yan?
Oo.
Baka fake, baka
Yeah.
altered.
But when I saw that, and syempre, I nakalimutan ko na yung pangalan ng girl eh. But when I saw that, sabi ko, fake to. I mean, I can tell what's fake kasi.
Yeah, siguro yun medyo
Tsaka wala ka
obvious.
pa namang sinasabing may girlfriend ka kasi wala ka
Well,
pang announcement.
Yun medyo obvious. Pero
Which one? Na
AI yun.
okay. Akala ko yung may announcement ka.
Hindi. Yun AI na halata siyang AI.
Yeah, oo.
Pag tiningnan mo talaga. Pero kahit yun, may iba akala totoo siya.
Okay.
Ganun
Yeah.
talaga.
But the girl is real. You don't know.
Hindi ko
But you,
alam,
you
pero-
never commented, no? Because you do respond to people on social media, but you did not comment on that
Well, I
one.
can't respond to everything, and
Yeah.
I don't see everything as well.
Yeah.
But again, we're heading into an era where we have to really question everything that we see and hear, because there will be more and more of this
Yeah.
in the coming years.
Yeah, okay. Of course, part of the reason why I brought that up was because syempre, ang next na tanong about your love life, etc. But you look very reluctant to talk about it. Na parang, why is she even bringing it up?
Well, I've been so focused.
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the
parang
last
your whole
years.
life is this. No? Wala ka ng
Totoo
time.
naman yun. No? Pag may time ako, papahinga na lang talaga ako. Magbabasa na lang ako ng libro sa bahay pag may
You have
pag
time
may
to read.
oras.
What are you reading?
Nahiya ako sabihin, nerd ako eh.
Why?
Hindi.
What?
I'm reading Francis Fukuyama right now.
Fukuyama?
Yeah, it's Paul Tsai books.
Ah.
Political Order and Political Decay.
Oh,
It's
Political
an
Decay.
old book that I didn't finish reading maybe 5 years ago. I don't know.
Ito yung sinasabi mo with so much of your time focused on all
Pero
of this.
paunti-unti ko
Oo.
lang kasi
Because you have
1-2 pages, kung may time ako, kung may time man
Pagod
ako,
ka
1-2 pages tulog na ako.
okay.
Siguro
okay.
sa pagod din.
Yeah. I wonder if this is a fair question to you, no? Because parang gusto kong tanungin who is Vico Soto outside of politics, no? Outside of what we already know about you. Okay, you're the mayor of Pasig. You're a straight arrow, straight as an arrow. Atenean, you can shoot from half court.
Pati yun.
Pati yun, di ba? How many times can you do that? But anyway, I mean, what else is there about you? Or that's it?
Wala,
And then
yun
you
lang.
can read when you have time and you fall asleep after 2 pages.
Siguro yun.
Yun na yun?
Yun na yun.
Parang ayaw mo pa. Okay. Tapos, syempre, may mga nagtatanong, pag tumakbo kang presidente,
No, no,
magiging
no.
first lady, mga gano'n, no? Too far ahead, no?
Daming-
Too far off.
May mga tao kasi na well-meaning,
Mm.
di ba? And to some extent, of course, you appreciate when people say good things about you. Why wouldn't you appreciate it if you're saying good things?
Yeah.
Pero minsan, ako yung napapahamak sa mga speculation ng mga tao eh. Di ba?
Yeah.
So ano na lang, iniisip ko na lang lagi wala ka naman magagawa kung anong sabihin ng ibang tao.
Yeah. Right.
Basta-
You can't control what they're saying. Yeah.
Basta focus lang ako kung nasan ako at kung ano yung
Right.
alam ko sa sarili ko, alam ko naman kung ano eh.
Stay
Kung ano yung
present
balak
in the
ko, ano yung-
stay present in the moment, right? Oo. And then eventually, like you said, when you have time in 2028, you're gonna go back to what you really want to do, right? Okay. So siguro ano na lang, final words, anything anything you'd like to share with viewers and listeners of this podcast?
Dami. Saan tayo magsisimula? Anong topic ba? Dami natin na pag-usapan.
What makes you happy?
What makes me
What
happy?
makes you happy?
Masaya lang naman ako lagi.
Yeah. No, but what makes you happy nga? When
You know what? I think one of my advantages, given my personality, the reason why I can, do a lot of the things that I do, I don't have many highs and lows. Mga steady lang. And I think since I was a kid, ganun na talaga ako. My parents and my siblings would probably agree. Parang okay lang, hindi ako masyado masaya, hindi rin ako malungkot. Steady lang, parang ganun lang. Pag may kaguluhan na nangyayari, hindi naman sa hindi papansinin. See what
kalmado
you
ka
can
lang,
do.
yeah.
Pero alam
You'll
ko
do
kung
something.
hanggang saan lang ako. Alam ko hanggang saan yung kaya ko. Alam ko pag wala na akong control, si Diyos na bahala. Si Lord na bahala. Diba? So, ganun lang. Hindi
Okay.
ako, but I think
Yeah.
in my line of work, that's an advantage because I don't get too emotional. magagalit lang ako paminsan-minsan pero hindi naman ako ganun ka so I can work more deliberately. So I think it's generally an advantage for me.
Okay. I think we've covered a lot already unless I forgot something. Hindi naman siguro. Vico Soto, the Mayor of Pasig City. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
coming on Let's Talk. Maraming salamat.
Okay. So I hope you'll have me on again maybe
Oh, come on.
in 10 or 12 years.
10
I'm just
10
kidding.
years?
I'm just kidding.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.